It's the morning of day 3 of Expedition 1 at the Lindsey Lake area. I've already seen 7 lakes. I'm going to my 8th lake this morning. It's a place called Bullpen Lake. I'm going to basically climb these mountains and then hike down into this basin. Now it's not too bad as long as I cut across, climb over the mountain in an easier area where there's where there's less brush and obstacles, so that way it's a smooth hike. Even though it's primitive, it can still be smooth if you know where to cut over. So it's not going to be easy. My legs feel like jello. I hiked all day Friday, all day Saturday. Now we're into Sunday. Rocky, come. And we're going to keep going. There's an area I can cut across up here. It's actually a straight shot to the lake. However, it also appears that it's easier. Do you know why it's easier? Because I'm ascending. Instead of starting from the bottom of the mountain here, I'll go another few hundred feet up the trail, and then I'll cut over. Less ascension means less fatigue. So I'm eating a chocolate-filled muffin. I know. Breakfast of champions, right? Do what you gotta do to survive. That's what I always say. Lakes below, Lower Lindsey Lake. There is a trail that goes out to Bullpen Lake, but you have to go about 2 miles down here, about 2 miles following Lindsey Lakes, climb out of Lindsey Lakes and go to Culbertson Lake. And once you're at Culbertson Lake, then a little pass, there's a turn off to the left, but it's almost at Lower Rock Lake, and it says 3 miles on the sign. So it's kind of out of your way to take this trail and go a couple miles in and then another 3 miles. You know, you might start getting up to 4 or 5 miles by the time you get there. Instead, what we're going to do is I'm going to go up this trail and just cut hard to the left over the summit. Come on, Rocky. I'm going to cut over the summit here directly to the lake, which in total I'd be maybe walking a half mile uphill till I descend onto the lake, and another maybe 0.4 miles from the gate, from the trail entrance. And this is the Lindsey Lake Trail. You can't miss it. It's the only trailhead in Lindsey Lake. I decided to take my girlfriend's dog. Excellent hearing, excellent sense of smell, and he's little, but I mean, he hiked 8 miles yesterday without a problem. My dog, I don't know, he's having a midlife crisis. Chases every bird, every squirrel, horses, seen horses, chase horses, isn't listening. You know, he's just, I don't know. Last few years he's been a good dog to take camping and hiking, and this year he is just, you know what I mean, he is totally off the chain. Like he's reliving his puppy days or something. So I took the little dog. There you go. Go on. Keep going. And Rocky's not a puppy. He's 9 years old. But he's a Catahoula mix. Catahoulas can climb trees. They're good hunting or dogs or tracking dogs. So this is a good Bigfoot searching dog. People might laugh at me, be like, that little dog. But that little dog can find tracks and everything. So he's going to come in handy. Yeah, I believe we're going to turn off over here. I'm going to go up here over the peak, and it's going to get a lot steep. Come on, Rocky. It's going to get a lot steeper. However, we're going primitive. And every time I've gone primitive, I found some Bigfoot evidence up in this area. So I do believe that this creature roams the region. Then again, there's a lot of Bigfoot sightings, reports, and tracks that come out of the Grouse Lake space. We're merely at one of the dozens of lakes today that we're going to, you know? I mean, this basin has many lakes, and we're only going to one of them up here today, which is Bullpen. But then Friday and Saturday we went to 7 more. That just gives you an idea how many lakes and so forth are up here. We're going to have to go uphill. It's not going to be easy. You can see I got to go straight up the mountain and over into the basin to get to the lake. It's very steep, and I'm basically on the side of a mountain. So obviously there's going to be an ascension. Now I would not recommend, if you're viewing this video and you want to come out to Lindsey Lakes, don't do this. Take the trail. Because I'm going to tell you something. Okay? A, you could seriously get lost just going up the side of a mountain and disappearing into the wilderness. B, there's some pretty big bears. And C, this creature, Bigfoot, does exist. And, you know, he is up here. So, which can attribute to some of the missing people in the Sierras. So we need to be cautious. And D, it's very dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. You know, you roll your knee, there's deer droppings. You roll your knee, an ankle, and you're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, and you get no signal, how are you going to call for help? How? So, these are things to keep in mind. What we'll do is we're going to continue to ascend up to the top of the ridge, and then we'll come down into the Bullpen Lake Basin. You gotta watch it, this stuff will cut you up. So try to step through, not through it, but go around it. Because it's pretty thick. Once you get around it, when you're in the mountains, it'll end. Come on, Rocky. My dog can't really navigate this terrain well. He's small, so it takes him a little bit. Come on, Rocky. But see, it should flatten out up here. And then we could head straight to the lake. Or at least try to descend down on it. Nothing is ever easy or handed to us, especially when we're hiking. Now see, look, something stepped down that was big here. It goes right up into the woods. Could be Sasquatch. If it is, I'm not running from him. Wow. Pretty rugged going up. So we're pretty primitive. No trail, no signs of humans. Just a lot of brush, elevation change, conifers, aspens, and granite rocks. So we'll continue to ascend. You can see it kind of tops out up here, or tops off where I'm no longer going to go up, but probably descend down to where the lake is. Come on, Rocky. Rocky. Oh, there you are. So small I can't even see you. Although you guys may think, a mile, half a mile is not far. But it is when you're going primitive. and you have to climb over logs, go through brush, and all that jazz. It's not easy. But see, it's starting to level off up here. It's because we're at the top of this summit that I just climbed. Smaller summit, yes, compared to the one across from us, but no less a summit that overshadows Bullpen Lake. Wow. Good hike to do at this time of day. Sun just rose. I'm good. Let's try to find a way through this hellacious mess of a brush. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Come on, boy. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Let's see how many miles we got left. Probably about 0.3. It's like kind of an animal path back here. And, you can see tracks or impressions. Some of them are pretty deep, like a bear came through here. But I'm descending down onto the lake right now. Like I said, I took you guys to the top of the summit where it's all a lot of brush, it's overgrown. And then this is the part where we just kind of descend down onto the lake through the woods. But it is primitive. Like I say, there is no trail. If you're going to do this, you better have a GPS, or you better have a way of navigating. Now I can tell there's a lake up ahead. You see how open it is? That's probably where Bullpen Lake is. Probably about a half mile down the hill. This is much easier to navigate. Compared to the other side of the mountain, this side has, the woods aren't as dense, the brush isn't as thick. As a matter of fact, all that harsh brush doesn't grow here. Instead, on this side, grass grows. And that might be because the lake's right here. And wherever there's a lake, I notice, nearby, the brush and the terrain in this can be a little less rugged, as opposed to the other side of the mountain where it gets so much sunlight, so certain types of vegetation grow, as opposed to here it's a little more shady. But we're descending right down onto the lake, and we're basically coming off the mountain here right onto the lake. Normally you're supposed to access the trail. You're not supposed to climb over a mountain to get to this lake. But taking the primitive way, I might learn something. I might also find Bigfoot evidence back here, or evidence that something lurks in this hidden area behind Bullpen Lake, or up in the mountains surrounding Bullpen Lake. But this is our final lake of the day, and I gotta go over to the dam and work with the primitive shoreline of Lower Lindsey Lake. So, my work's cut out for me. Like I said, nothing's handed to me. Nothing's handed to me. This is not a pleasure trip. Everybody thinks, oh, you're having fun and this and that. Yeah, we're having fun doing what we're doing. But when it comes to Bigfoot evidence, we don't pull no punches. I mean, we're willing to hike off the trail to find this creature. And it's something a lot of Bigfoot investigators don't do anymore. Come on, Rocky. A lot of Bigfoot investigators are not willing to mountaineer to get to this creature or find it. They hope to park, pull on the side of the road, look for tracks, and be done with it like finding Bigfoot. That's not feasible. This is kind of like a wash. Snow runs down it, you can tell. All the small rocks and dead woods laying on its side here, as if crisscross, as if water and snow had carried it down. It's still, like I say, even if you go 0.6 miles or 1.1 miles, whatever it is, whatever distance, 5 miles, when you're in such a primitive place, it could seem like it's a lot longer, because you got to go through all kinds of brush just to get to the place that you want to go. And it's slow going. You can't run through this. I don't even know what's over here. I don't know what peaks we'll see, what kind of scenery. It's just another part of the Grouse Lakes Basin that I've never been to and I've never seen. I was out here a couple weeks ago and I seen a few lakes and a ghost town. Some pretty cool stuff out here. But this really puts things into a different perspective when you go to the outer reaches, or the central reaches of the Grouse Lakes Basin. You can kind of see how remote it is, and the peaks just kind of tower over you, and there's lake after lake after lake. Looks like we might be coming across some brush here. Come on, Rocky. Have to watch for ticks. So the lake's right down here. Climbing out of this mountain is going to be as hard as climbing up and over it, because I won't be able to take the same path. There's no way to calculate that. I might be able to take the same path, but you can see it all looks the same here. So it's easy to take another wash, or, I mean, you may take the same way, ascend the same way up, but it won't be the same exact path, because it's just so much brush, and there is no path to even mark. There's no way to sit here and know, you know you're going up, or you're going down, or north or south, but you don't really have much of a handle on which way you go up or down. The only way I could suggest is, if you're going to go up or down in an area like this, take the best route possible. Play it safe. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Seasonal creek here. But the lake is over here. I mean, I'm directly lined up with it. I assume this wash will come out right at the lake. If you ever get lost, you're looking for a lake, just descend down a wash. It'll lead either to a river, a stream, or a lake. It's not all the time. I mean, there are mountains that have many washes that have seasonal creeks that flow, and then they're dry in the summer. But if you come out here and you want to look for such lakes, this would be your best bet. It's taking a wash like this. It looks like it gets steep again, so we'll go ahead and just came up from those mountains all the way in the top. We'll have to go all the way back. But if you feel daring and brave, do it up. This would be the route to take. I mean, there's so much brush, like I say, and trees, you're not going to find the same way up. You're going to have to maneuver around until you can get a safe way down, because there are cliffs too up in here, and you can fall off and get hurt. I mean, I rock climb shit like that, but it's, like I say, you better know what you're doing. It goes down quite a ways, but it does flatten out, and that's where the lake is. Come on, Rocky. This is not exactly the most ethical way to take, but it'll shave a few miles off. Sometimes it's better to take the longer way in because it's safer. And sometimes if you're like me and you're trying to fit in all kinds of places to check out for Bigfoot evidence, Rocky, come on. You probably will want to go primitive or take some shortcuts so you can, not shortcuts, but If you want to shave some time off, see, something came down here that was big. But if you want to shave time off your hike, this is what you do. You climb over the mountain, you go to the lake. And the best thing about it is you're not on any trails. And if you're looking for any kind of Bigfoot evidence, your best bet would be to do a hike like this. Fit in a hike or two. And I've seen some people arrive last night. They didn't even set up a tent. You know, they just put their cooler down, did a few things here and there, left, came back at like 12:30, started their fire, didn't even pitch a tent. I wake up this morning, or the last night, after their fire a little bit, the guy took off again with this woman. And then this morning they show up again, and they like grab their cooler and shit, and they leave. You know, you can't possibly enjoy this place if you're not willing to do stuff like this. This place offers endless adventure. But if you really want to see the Grouse Lake Basin, and you really want to see it in full, I mean, you got a backpack. You don't necessarily have to do this type of hike, but you can if you're feeling daring. But I'm trying to squeeze in. I have a lot to squeeze in on this trip, and so today I still got a lot of other areas to go. So I had to shave off a couple hours of my time by going primitive, which is okay with me, because I'll tell you what, going primitive just means that I'll be the lucky guy that gets the Bigfoot evidence today. That's why people don't really have many sightings or find much evidence, because technically, most people are not willing to do what we're doing right now. Wow, it's quite a descent. I think I see the lake up. Yep, I see the lake through the trees. Oh my God, I can't believe I made it here. It took about a half hour of climbing and descending, but I'm here. Now I just gotta figure out how to get to the lake below. I can see it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Come on, boy. Wow. That's a good sight to see. Bullpen Lake through the trees. Not a very large lake, but a lake that's worth hiking too. Especially if you can go up the side of a mountain and come down. Now I've seen a few big tracks. Shit, we got cliffs. I've seen a few big tracks while hiking back here. They weren't defined, but something's been back here. Oh shit. This is pretty steep. I may not want to go down any cliffs. That you may not want to do if you're hiking alone. You fall, and nobody gonna find you. Oh yeah. This is steep, but at least it's going around the cliff. I can do that. You may want to hike over the mountain to get here, and then just take the trail back. You can do that too. Come on, Rocky. This is steep, but the lake's through the trees. You can see it. You may want to sidestep it, because if you tumble forward, you're going to go down. This is a really, really steep slope. This is why Bigfoot leaves tracks. The funny thing is, on a slope this steep, Bigfoot would leave a track going up and down, right? Like I'm sidestepping it, but this creature leaves tracks that go, oh look, this creature, hold on Rocky, come on. This creature will leave tracks that go up and down because of its sheer strength. It doesn't need to sidestep, or, these creatures have good balance. And I have to sidestep, so any of my tracks will look sideways, while Bigfoot should go up and down. And there are some impressions, like something climbed up in here at one time. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Come on, boy. Stop. Come on. Come on, Rocky. It's better to have 4 legs than one. If you have 4 legs, you could go down here, no problem. He has no problem with it. And I'm just like, whoa, 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 This is not an ideal hike. That's why it'll take, sometimes, like I say, it's better to take the longer trail. Because you take the shorter trail, it might take you twice as long, just trying to get through the terrain. But if you're looking for Bigfoot, yeah, this is a good hike. There we go, Bullpen Lake. Wow. What we're going to do is look for tracks. The shoreline's really primitive here. I don't even know if I can go around the shoreline or not. We'll see. These lakes have no trails or even a way to get around them. Just kind of gotta go through brush and mud, climb rocks, the usual. Pretty steep climbing out of here. But at least we're at the lake. Getting out's going to be just as hard. If I went up over the mountain and down, then I got to go up over the mountain and down on the other side. So either way, I'm still going to ascend. There's no way to avoid ascending out here. So we got the lake right here. You guys can see how steep it is. It's cliffs straight up. I climbed the mountain and I climbed one of the peaks and I came down onto the lake. I did this one myself. My family's too tired. Sometimes when I look for Bigfoot, Rocky, come here. Sometimes when I look for Bigfoot, I heard some branches breaking. I tend to not take my family on every expedition. There's some expeditions that are just too dangerous to take my family. So we either take a team or I take myself. And that's that. Now I just heard a branch snap, a crisp one. So I'm thinking that there might be some kind of bear out there or animal, maybe some deer running around. It's the morning, so it's common to see deer in the morning out in the Sierras. Wow, Bullpen Lake. Quite overgrown back here. There's nothing special about this lake. I mean, it's kind of muddy, it's shallow. We seen this peak yesterday hiking towards it on the other side of the ridge. But again, there's really nothing special about this lake. I mean, I don't even know how to get down to the lake. Oh, come on, Rocky. while having to go through tons and tons of brush. Come on, Rocky. It's muddy. Jesus. All right, Rocky. Yay. Oh yeah. It's very wet. Oh man, I am walking now through thick water, and it's cold. Woo! This is not a friendly shoreline here. Come on, boy. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Over here. Come on, Rocky. Come on, Rocky. Shit. Come on, Rocky. Over here, boy. Just came out of this rat's nest. Oh, fuck. That was brutal. Let's not do that again. Whew. I think by now I'd see Bigfoot. I stepped in mud and everything. Look at that. Whew. Wow. My shoes are wet. Come on, Rocky. Oh, man. This is better. But this brush, pushing through that, it took me 15 minutes to get out of that shit. It's all caught up in vines and weeds and branches. Come on, Rocky. Let's go. We're not out of the woods yet. But I'll tell you what, I am tired. Not an easy trek. Not an easy shoreline to get to search for tracks. It's too muddy. Not even too muddy. There's so much brush. How are you going to check for tracks? We're going to do there's an area on the lake. We can check for tracks. But, it'll be where the trail intersects. I'm coming, Rocky. This may be an animal trail, but it's definitely no marked trail. Wow. I keep finding these big holes, too. Very strange. Come on, Rocky. Rocky, come on. Oh, here you are. I see you. Look, it's like a jungle back here. Or an obstacle course, right? Gotta be real careful back here. There are bear and other forms of wildlife. Find an area we can kind of break at. Bullpen Lake. Muddy shoreline. Problem is, you got a bunch of tall grass, and it's so marshy. Look, how do you get tracks in something like this? This is all supposed to be lake, but it's just grassy. There's no muddy shoreline. It's just grass and water. You can see the water through the grass. We're at Bullpen Lake. I'll talk to that. It was hard to get here, but it's very marshy. But you know what? I just climbed that mountain. I just climbed an entire mountain. You can see the cliffs right there. There's a mountain right here, and I just climbed it. So, you know what I'll do? I'll talk to that. Hell yeah, bitches. I'm at Bullpen Lake, and I climbed the mountain to get here. I went primitive this morning to get here, and that deserves nothing but respect. I mean, you see how steep it is? Very steep all the way up, and you go at the top of these trees, and there's another there's for about a half mile. It climbs and climbs over a mountain and down to where my camp is. So it's a hell of a jaunt and a hell of a climb. But I was hopeful I'd find tracks here, and what I found is a lot of tall grass, mud, and you know, I mean, it's not exactly good track finding. It's not very good track finding. It's not a very good area to search for tracks. However, I did find up on the side of the mountain 2 very large tracks. And it's strange because there's just 2 of them and then they disappear. They're not very well defined, so I didn't photograph them, but they are on video, and it's obvious something at one time, someone or something climbed this mountain to get down to this lake. So I kind of did the same journey I just did, and then come down a little wash along another ridge line and work your way down to the shore. And I was on the other side, and I worked my way through all that brush to get over here, and now it opens up into the woods. So I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to try to go around this ridge because there's an opening. I can see through the trees here. And I'm going to come down, descend down back by Culbertson Lake, which shouldn't put me too far out of the way for hiking back to my Jeep. This is Lord Rick. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. Sunday morning, the 15th, and my, what a beautiful morning it is. I'm on the search for Bigfoot in the Grouse Lakes Basin in the Tahoe National Forest. We're at Bullpen Lake. It's my 8th lake this weekend. 8th. And where there's water, you're going to find Bigfoot. Especially in an area as remote as this. I could just picture him just trudging through the high grass at any time. You never know. We'll keep the cameras rolling. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. Peace. So we're going to head out of here. I stayed here about a half hour. All I can hear is bees and mosquitoes right now. This is to the north. And this is kind of looking south. So north, we need to go north. I'll try to get over the lake. But like I say, it's so quiet here, it's almost creepy. It's all a little silent, which makes it creepy. I gotta be really careful. There's a beehive right here. This area, every area I camp in the Sierras is different. You know, in some areas I camp in the Lakes Basin, there's a high populated bumblebee population. There's a lot of bumblebees. Here, yellow jackets. You see a lot of yellow jacket nests. And there are nests. Come on, Rocky. There are nests on trees or the rocks or the wood. And so yeah, like I say, you do got to be careful. And we're in this basin. When you go in a basin, you also have to climb out of a basin. And I've heard some branches break. We found some big tracks. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that something lurks here. There are human footprints back here. So we know that if I follow these, it'll probably lead to an area. Come on, Rocky. Over here. A better area where we can break at, maybe. That's less swampy. But being this primitive, like it says, it has its advantages, but it also can be very dangerous. And so we don't want to, when we go primitive, we want to take the safest route down, the safest way up. I mean, we don't really want to do anything that's going to jeopardize the expedition. Now, I think I'm going to go up, and I'm going to climb over the mountain here. Come on, Rocky. I'll show you when we get around this corner. You know, but Bigfoot could be sitting down in this brush. Here I am going through it. You know, this is their idea of a lake trail. I don't know, man. It's a joke if it is. Because, I mean, there's just like literally nowhere to go. Good place to look for tracks. You can tell something's trampled through here. You know, you can see holes and oh yeah, no bones. I thought those were bones. Nice. The best solution for me would be probably to, I think I'm going to climb up the mountain right here. Yeah. Come on, Rocky. We're going to climb the mountain. I'm on the other side of the mountain now, because I'm on the other side of the lake. So, different terrain, different path, primitive path out. However, it'll top off up here. Culberson Lake's just on the other side. So, what we'll do is we'll descend down on the Culberson Lake, and then I'll hit the trail back to the Jeep that way. Oh, it's steep, man. It's overgrown. This is going to be tedious. So we're ascending. I mean, this is straight uphill. Straight uphill, man. And it's not going to be easy, because we have to go straight uphill, and then it'll top off, and then it'll be downhill. Downhill will be easy, but as long as we go around the cliffs. There's a lot of cliffs. The Grouse Ridge, or Grouse Lakes Basin, is full of treacherous cliffs, rocky terrain, peaks, lakes. I mean, it's a different type of wilderness. You can see the giant granite rocks. These were placed here by glaciers. It's like, this is like stepping back in a time capsule where we're at. Come on, Rocky. Up. He's not doing too bad. Go. Wow. Little path right here. Look. And it keeps going up. I'm intrigued. You can see a little path. Very interesting. Maybe an animal path? I don't know. Wow. But it ends. So that means we have to try to ascend. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, but look, we got to get over this peak. That's a good ways up. We still got about a 6 mile, or we almost got a mile till we hit the trail. So basically I got to go through a mile of this terrain surrounded by cliffs and steep inclines till I can push over the mountain and out of here. Some kind of animal trail here. It's good to follow the animal trails. Bigfoot would use them too. If he was hunting for, per se, deer or gathering, he might want to use these trails. We gotta really be careful here. Wow. It's rocky back in here. Wow. Stop. So we're about halfway up. You guys remember seeing that peak when I was filming, or that hillside when we were standing on the lake. Rocky stop. You guys remember when I stood at the bottom lake, you could see that huge open area. Now we're about almost level with it because I've been climbing up the peak. I just decided to sit and break. I mean, technically, you could see the, let me see if I can zoom in. You can kind of see the lake through the trees too. Bullpen Lake. Nothing very exciting. This wasn't the most scenic of lakes, or the most beautiful. A lot of lily pads and marshland. But I still had to check it out. I mean, I did 8 lakes. I feel accomplished. There's a lot more lakes in this area to see. I seen a few about 2 weeks ago. I seen a couple. I'm still not done seeing all the lakes in the Grouse Lakes Basin. There are some hidden ones nobody knows about, and I kind of I would love to get to those places and check for tracks. But when you look at terrain like this, they're very hard to get to, and that's why these creatures remain elusive. They're able to go to the hidden lakes or ponds that might be 50 feet across, just deep pool of water in the middle of the Sierras on a mountainside, and we may not be able to get to them, but they may be back here able to drink from them, and that's why they're not sighted at major lakes like Bowman, for example. I mean, yeah, you get Bigfoot just outside of the lake in the woods, but I mean, this creature has to drink, so it's got to get its water from somewhere. There's nobody out here, and this lake is really secluded. So it won't surprise me if Bigfoot comes down this mountain here to get a drink. I've seen some tracks going up and down. Somebody's been back here or something. All right, folks, I'll continue with the ascension. This is Lord Rick. We're at Bullpen Lake. You can see where something big came through. Dirt's all shuffled. Some branches are broke, like something stepped on them. You just never know with a place like this. It'll throw you a few wrenches and surprises. A little bit of both. So, I'll continue to ascend if I don't get stung by yellow jackets here. It's pretty rugged. And we'll make our way back to the Lindsey Lakes Basin. Nice little flat area and meadow up here. Oh man, it's another world, that's for sure, when you're hiking in the Sierras. Look at this. I mean, you could camp back here. Wow. Hold on, Rocky. Ow. Oh man. Now I'm going through a bunch of burrs. Doesn't feel too good on the ankles, that's for sure. Wow. We're about to stand on a peak. Another peak. Some of these peaks are smaller, but they're still peaks. See, it's rocky up here. Wow. We'll see where we're at though, once we get to the top. Oh yeah. There's Lindsey Lakes right through that canyon where I'm camping. Wow. I'm pretty high up and pretty far away. Wow. This is rugged. What goes up must come down. So once I get to the top, I'll assume it starts going downhill. Oh yeah, there's Bullpen Lake right there. Yeah, we're pretty high up. See it? Hard to see because of it macros the plant and blurs out the lake. But you can kind of see it right here. See it? A little bit of the shoreline. Go. Oh yeah. Just came down off of here. We just came up from this area. See how overgrown it is? This is not friendly terrain. It's very hard to navigate it. Wow. Standing above Bullpen Lake now. We're gonna have to get up there where that tree is straight ahead, and then it descends down into the... We're gonna go up to that tree, and then we'll begin our descent down to the Lindsey Lake Basin. And so, we still got a ways to go. Where you see that giant rock is the peak. I thought this was the peak, and then I came over the hill here, and I'm like, oh man, we got more peak. And so, I'm just gonna weave in and out of this brush. And then I can make my descent accordingly. All right. Wow. You gotta have some really strong legs for this. I'm hiking along the side of this steep cliff and mountain. Whoa. Man, I can feel the burn. It's almost straight up in some areas. We're almost at the summit. Bullpen Lake. We're also almost level with this meadow across from me on the side of the mountain. Hey man, what's going on, dude? Dog, I got the dog included. He's part of the expedition as well. He's doing better than I am. Look at him, he's just like, yeah, I'm ready to climb. You gotta learn how to circumnavigate the terrain that's found in the Sierras. Where to step down, where to go. Because if you don't, you could end up seriously getting hurt. And I don't want anybody to pull Lord Rick and go off a cliff. But if you look, there's two mountains meet right here and the one right here. I'm going to go right in between the slope and up over the ridge line and back down to the Lindsey Lake basins. Culbertson Lake's here. Lindsey Lakes are over towards this way. And then you have Bullpen Lake right here. Careful not to slip and fall. Have good shoes and have good footing. You definitely don't want to fall on this brush. It'll gore you. It'll stab you. And you definitely don't want to get tumbling. You'll go off a cliff. And you gotta kind of, this is some kind of animal trail, I think. But you kind of, when you go rugged, you gotta kind of be up and up on things. And of course, one last look at Bullpen Lake before I climb the rest of the mountain and go over to the next base. Wow. Come on. Looks like a little, see, you could see a path, but it's not a trail. I mean, it's an animal trail probably, or a wash. But it's not an ethical way to take to Bullpen Lake. There's a trail that goes to Bullpen Lake. This is not it. But but it's at Rock Lake. You can veer off and take it. It's a lot easier probably than climbing a couple mountains to get to it. But if you're like me and you're looking for good Bigfoot evidence, you don't want to take no trail. And you don't want to run into other people. Long ways to go. We'll eventually make it. Right, Rocky? We'll eventually make it. Wow. Well, we're at the first summit. One more summit to climb. There's the rock. See it, folks? We're behind it. I went around it. Oh man, good exercise. I should have stretched this morning though. Wow. Wow. Still got another summit to go over, and then I can make my descent. No, let's go over here. Go to the area of least resistance, which I assume would be through here. Because if you go up there, man, that's some thick ass brush. Ah, thorns. I hate those. They're not even thorns. This is brush that grows that has needles all over it. Seasonal creek right here. What we're going to do is I'm going to follow the seasonal creek and go right over the mountain here and start to descend into the Lindsey Lake Basin. The descent will be easy. It's just not easy going up, especially through this. But here's the seasonal creek. You can kind of follow it out. Wow. Anything could be hiding up here. A fucking jungle. It's kind of flat here up at the summit, or the ridge line. And this ridge line separates the Lindsey Lake Basin, which is straight ahead, or the Bullpen Lake Basin, which is behind us, way down at the bottom of the basin or the mountain. Now keep in mind, it's flat up here, yes, but we'll still have to descend. Therefore, it's about to get a little crazy because these descents are steep and you got to go around cliffs. You don't want to go down too close to the cliffs. If you stumble and you roll, you go right off. You're screwed. But it's starting to flatten out up here. And this is this is primitive. There's no humans back here. You can see that. Or trail. A couple animal trails going through the grass and brush, which I've seen, which you guys may have seen in the video. But there's not many paths in this wilderness. There's a few trails found out in this wilderness. And then there's a lot of offbeat shit. And we're offbeat. I've seen a lot of nature. Unfortunately, my dog kept chasing everything away, so I didn't get no birds or frogs or anything that he could come barreling through and chase away. My bigger dog, not the little one. But I did get a lot of pretty flower pictures. I took a lot of pictures of flowers. Seen a bald eagle yesterday. Seen some deer yesterday morning. There's a lot of wildlife, a lot of butterflies. It's nice here. But when I go on these expeditions, I do focus on nature photography. There you go. Look at that. That's pretty deep and big. Like I said, something's walked through here, whether it's, a bear or Bigfoot or whatever. Something's been back here. It's pretty big, pretty wide. big open area, so appears something's been going through here a lot. But we're going to go ahead, see we're at the top. It's going to start descending down into, we got a peak here, we got a peak, little peak here, because we're at the top of the ridge line. So at the top of the ridge is a bunch of little peaks that you can summit. And we're going to make a descent. It's going to be steep. We're going to descend onto the Lindsey Lake Trail and then work our way back to the Jeep. From here out is downhill, and I know I'm in the right area because I can see a ridge line that overshadows Lindsey Lake straight ahead through the trees, so we know we're going the right way. I was actually on the other side of that mountain climbing up. Originally, to get to Bullpen Lake, we were on the other side by about a half mile. Now I'm going a different way up. I left the lake. I didn't take the same way up as I did coming down or descending down on the Bullpen Lake. I mean, this is still the same mountain. We're just on the other side of it. And this way appears to be a lot easier. I'll tell you what, going up the first 300 feet though, to get to the ridge line is ridiculous. It's overgrown. It's steep like this, like this, going up. Sometimes you got to use your hands. You got to be on all fours. You got to use your hands and rock scramble and climb. That's interesting. Something could be living in there. Jeez. Or bees. But it's a good feeling to descend back down onto the main trail, because it means I just went up over the ridge and back down it in a primitive fashion with no trails, no compass. I can mark on my GPS the lake and get a general idea. That's when it wants to read. But as long as I got a general direction, once you get to the ridge, you'll see Bullpen Lake, and then you just hike down to it. And of course, it's no brainer here. There's a peak that I can see through the trees, and that's the peak that overshadows all the Lindsey Lakes. So as long as you head towards that peak, you're going to find Lindsey Lakes. Just use common sense when you're primitive hiking. Always use various landmarks. Find landmarks like peaks, ridges, lakes, so you know where you're at if you want to leave the trail. And that's exactly what I'm doing. This is much easier than when I climbed up and worked my way to the lake. The other side of the mountains, the descent is less steep. And if I see correctly here, I see the Lindsey Lake Trail. Holy shit. This is fucking nice, man. I fucking made it. The mountain is less steep here, as opposed to further down the road where it's a lower elevation. So I could have came up here and probably saved myself a little less of a headache, but that's the thing about primitive hiking. You can hike in somewhere and be like, wow, that was rough, and find a safer or different way out. Come on, Rocky. You can find a different means out and find out that the way out's much easier. Because, as you primitive hike, you begin to learn about the mountain, about the ridge, about the terrain, and I got to learn about this mountain. This mountain that we just came off of overshadows Lindsey Lakes and my camp. Obviously, this road actually comes near the peak here, but the descent would still, like I say, the descent's very steep down to the lake. And what I did is, instead of coming down where the road meets up almost a few hundred feet from the summit, what I did, Rocky, come here. Rocky, come on. What I did, it's about a half mile down the road, I went up. So I started almost at the bottom of the mountain and worked my way up over the ridge. So my ascension, when I first started my hike to Bullpen Lake, the ascension was twice as steep. And the descent was so-so. But coming out of here, the ascension was real steep, but the descent to the Lindsey Lake Trail was rather it was hardly nothing, man. Of an, you know what I mean? It was hardly an elevation change. I mean, it was a gradual descent. And there seemed to be some kind of animal path or footpath. It's not on any maps or anything. So I assume some people do take the back way down. But it's steep and it's rugged, and the trail's not marked, and you can lose it. Now, I didn't take no trail going in, and I didn't take no trail going up. I just kind of climbed over the ridge line, and then I looked for this peak right here. And I was like, oh, this is Lindsey Lakes right below in my campsite. So, and that's how I mark when I go primitive, that's what I do. I mark my terrain with peaks and ridges. And so basically what folks, you just got the entirety of this expedition, the filming of the ascension, the descent into the Bullpen Lake Basin, all the way up to ascending back to the top of the Lindsey Lake Basin and descending back down into it. And so you could see, you know, I came out a totally different area. Because you can look, I was up over that peak. I actually hiked on the other side of this mountain and came out on the other side. And it would have been better to hike up onto this side, but who would know? Who would know? You know, you could look at this and say, oh, anywhere to the right's Bullpen Lake. So you could just look and be like, I could hike up here, it looks easy. And then you get up to the woods, find out there's a bunch of rocks and obstacle courses and cliffs. You just don't know where to go in at. You know, basically what I did is I said, oh, the lake's to the right, and I just went up and just went my safest, best possible way to get to the top. However, you know, after leaving the area, like for example, here we go. Here's another, what looks like a path going up, but it's not, because the woods get real dense. But you could go up at any of these areas, but you still got to go over the peak and down into the basin. And if you come back, it's the same thing. You know, you got to go descend back down into the basin. You got a basin on each side of the mountain, a lake basin. And so that's just something to keep in mind. You know, you can go up right here. As long as you don't mind the ascent, you can go straight up. It flattens out for a while. It goes up again. I ended up starting at the bottom, and I could have went up this road a little ways, which ascends, and it would have saved me some elevation. Some heavy ascension climbing, more or less. But it's all good. I got my morning exercise. Found some very large tracks up at the peak. I didn't really measure them or put my foot near them, but I filmed them for you guys. Something trudged through the top. There's no, like I said, I went all the way through the brush, and it was way at the top. So something's making the tracks. Something's out there. And there's the peak that overshadows Lindsey Lakes. Wow. It's a decent hike. I'm pretty tired. This deserves a nice ale. Last leg of our expedition today. I'm going to go across the Lindsey Lake Dam, and I'm going to look for tracks on the primitive shoreline. That's after I get back to camp and try to sit and have a cup of coffee, maybe a brew, relax, build up some energy so I can hike out there, do a little fishing before I go home. This is Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society, bringing you another awesome Bigfoot expedition in the Sierra Nevada mountain range. And we're going to descend back down onto the Jeep soon. And we'll be back at base camp. What an exciting morning. Wow, what an adventure. Right here, folks, is where I went in. So, about a little less than half a mile. I went in through here. It was pretty steep. Climbed over the summit, way over the trees to the lake. And I came out about a half mile down here where it's a little less steep. It's very steep right here, so if you happen to come down the Lindsey Lake Trail and you see these logs and this rock, this is not a road or a trail, trust me. It's going straight up into the wilderness. And there are cliffs, a lot of brush to cut you up, and it's very steep. So if you don't go the right way, you could screw yourself. Don't screw yourself. You know, if you want to use my video to kind of get an idea how to take on that peak above Bullpen Lake and descend down on the Bullpen Lake, please utilize my video, get an idea. But just remember, it's primitive. There's no amenities or luxuries, especially when you're Bigfoot investigating. I was disappointed at the shoreline. It's very grassy, filled with a lot of water, couldn't get no tracks, just very muddy, but not muddy where it's drying out and leaves tracks, the type of mud that if you step down, the track just gets filled up with muck, you know. So I couldn't get no tracks on that lake. It was all marshland around there, and there was no flat muddy areas. A lot of just tall grass and swamp water. I'm almost back at the Jeep. It's good talking to you guys. It's a good expedition. I did find, like I said, something trudged through up here at the peak, up in the woods. I wasn't on any path. I just, all through the thick brush, I found some tracks. So I also found some tracks down here. So I'm thinking whatever made the tracks over near here also made them up there. We're on the road less taken. This is Lord Rick hiking through the Sierra Nevadas and the Grouse Lake Basin of the Tahoe National Forest. We're almost back at our Jeep, and then I'll drive to base camp. Got some nice steaks for lunch today. Macaroni and potato salad. Throw in maybe some penny and spinach. Gonna have a nice meal today before we leave out of here. Had some crawfish last night that we caught in the lake. Wasn't too bad. Mini lobsters, man. We are eating luxurious out in the wilderness. Can't ask for more than that. From the gate of the trailhead, that area I climbed up, it's about 10-15 minute hike. Maybe less. There's Lindsey Lake right there. Rocky, get over here. Probably about 10 minutes. So if you guys are coming from the gate, heading down Lindsey Lake Trail, look to your left and you'll see the logs. You can climb up there. That's the way I took. It's not too bad, but like I said, there's two areas you'll ascend. There's the first area and then it gets flat for a while. There's the second area and it's flat again. And then you can come down the seasonal creek or the wash down to Bullpen Lake and then hike around it, and you can go up on the opposite end. Oh, look. Hey! I guess my son... Looks like my son walked all the way to the Jeep. Jared! Awesome. See the Jeep? So it's about maybe 10 minutes walk. And if you want to go the easier route, climbing the peak, because it's more rocky and less brush, and there's an animal path to Bullpen Lake, you can go up to your left. You'll look for it. You'll see it's like a wide animal path, about 5-10 minutes past where the fallen logs are. It's your choice which way you want to go up. Well, this is Lord Rick. I'm heading back to camp. My son walked up to the Jeep. I parked up the road from camp, and he was getting some supplies. And so, it's good to see him here. It's good to be back in civilization. Catch you on the flip side. Next video will be me crossing the Lindsey Lake Dam.
Do it.
I'm smarter than you are.
I can't believe I actually fit in that too.
I could see your camo.
So,
Ready to go to camp?
yeah.
All right, man.
I went up here to look for my phone.
Why? Oh, your phone?
Yeah, we don't know what time it is.
Oh.
So.
All right, man. Back at camp. Come on, Rocky. Nope. I was just right up there.
Oh.
Pookie bud, come here.
I'm back. I just climbed a mountain. I went all the way to the top of the peak, and we descended down on the Bullpen Lake, and then me and Rocky got caught in this wet, swampy brush and land, and we had to go through that. And I found an easy way out, though. There's an area you climb up behind the lake, and there's an animal path and a few rocks, and it goes up, and it's flat, and there's a meadow, and then it goes up a little, and there's a flat, and then it descends down real gradual. The road's right there, really close.
That folded all of our stuff up for us.
Oh, wow, thank you.
I got up right after you pulled out because he started crying.
Oh, because dogs came by. Somebody's walking a dog. I could see from the gate. The gate up here, I was looking. I was like, oh, they're going to friggin'... He's been like crapping and peeing and everything, man. I gave him... He had a fruit bar.
This one, I walked down there and sat on that rock. Look at my legs.
Shh. I gave him a fruit bar. He was good on the hike. He climbed the whole mountain. That mountain that's over here, we went all the way to the peak. It's almost at the top of the ridge. It's the top of the ridge that goes along here. And then we seen the lake and descended down on it. And then we hiked around the lake, but it's real marshy. And then we went up. It was pretty steep, but then it leveled off twice. And there was this... Yeah, he's drinking. And then there was this rocky peak. And me and Rocky worked our way through it, and we went on there's this little descent. It starts
in the corners of your mouth on both sides.
Yeah. It starts to descend down.
But it doesn't hurt. I don't feel it. It's like it's not there.
I think it's allergic from some poison ivy or something like that. Not poison ivy, but maybe like something
Sit on that rock. This one comes over, picks up a crawdad off the ground, and eats the whole thing.
Oh, it's dead.
Oh.
He ate the whole shell and everything. It was just like crotch.
But once you get up to the peak, once I came back on the other side, though, beautiful hike, like a valley, and a nice descent down, all low grass, smooth and dirt, nice. I found 2 big tracks up at the peak, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something had to make them trudge through. I don't think it was a human. Could have been a bear. They were big, but they were like the ones we seen. Not as big, but like maybe 14 inches, real deep and big, right in the woods on the side in the brush, way up high. It's probably not from a human.
I'm guessing those people, when they came back last night, they must have loaded their shit up in...
Wow. It drops off right there, but I'm not seeing the fish. Is there? Lobster size ones? No way. Huh? Huh. Interesting dam. It's kind of got like an S shape. Oh yeah. There's English Peak, I believe. English Peak. That's where we found the Bigfoot tracks last year ago. I see a dead fish down there too.
Yeah, I know.
Huh.
I do my net thing over there.
This must be the sleuth for the dam. What if you get sucked through?
Walk on this side.
Get trapped?
You can drown.
I see that.
And the pumps go all the way down there.
Yeah. It opens up. I see the bars. Wow. Folks, this is lower Lindsey Lake. The Tahoe National Forest is almost 1.4 thousand square miles. It's a very large area. Very large. And we're also near the ghost town of Baltimore Town, or known as Wright's Camp. What do you see down here?
They got bigger. Crawdad too.
And there's my camp, folks.
Now what? Oh, there's a trail. Okay.
My dog walking her.
There's a trail.
My dog. Hold on. Just seen Rascal. Dog's all walking around. That's a gorgeous area. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't realize how vast the Tahoe National Forest is. How many majestic peaks and lakes. I've seen 8 lakes this weekend. It's a lot of lakes to see on one weekend. There's a nice little lake trail here too. This is the primitive shoreline. You know, you can't camp over here. We're just gonna go ahead and try doing a little fishing. So we hiked with our fishing poles. Just kind of get away, try a different fishing spot. The dams that you see, like the one we crossed, dams were built in the mid-1800s in this region. That's when the dams began to be built, and then a lot of towns would be built by them so they could harness the water or the reservoir. What? We're across?
That's if you want to keep on going down.
I'll leave it up to you. I had a full weekend though. Most of these lakes I've hiked around, and they're rugged. This one has a little trail on the other side of the dam, but it still doesn't mean it's, you know, it's up and down, and still where I'm very exhausted from hiking, doing a lot of primitive hikes, so I can't wait to get to our fishing spot. The weather's been quite hot the last couple days. But you know, it's well worth coming out here. You do a little fishing, hiking, Sasquatching. That's what it's really about. You found a good spot? Okay, good. They're on the picnic bench. So how are we gonna fish here?
Oh yeah, it's so small.
All the brush and logs.
Want to keep on going down?
I don't know how much further we can go down.
Should I check?
You can look. If not, I'll have to cast it out. We'll just have to be careful here. It's real deep right out there. And of course, I'm not just back here to fish. I'm also back here looking for Bigfoot tracks. See, there's holes from other animals like deer. But we're hoping on the primitive side to find some tracks. You know, that's the whole thing about what we do. It's a patience and a game of numbers. It's a patience game, but it's a game of numbers. You know, you have to be patient because you're not going to find tracks right away. And a game of numbers mean, you know, the more miles, the more places you go, the better chance you have of getting Bigfoot tracks, just like fishing. You got a better chance of catching something if you try multiple fishing holes. This will work much better. We found a nice little spot bag down in here. Yep. Nice job. Let's catch ourselves some fish. Flack. Let's get some bait on these lines.
Yeah.
Well, it looks smooth and sandy. We get it out there, dude. We should catch something.
Can I just walk?
Folks, when I went to Bullpen Lake, I hiked over this ridge. Somewhere down, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of hard to see it. You see how see how it's all rocky? I hiked over that peak. I mean, it's considerably a good height to go over this ridge that's here to get to the lake. Even though it's only 0.6 miles from Lindsey Lake Trail to go primitive, it's slow going to try to work your way through the brush. But I just want to put it in perspective and show you, we've been up. We have the peak here, one of the peaks in the area overshadowing the lake off in the distance. And we've been below these peaks. We've been to 8 different lakes, and they're all at different elevations. Lindsey Lake, this is lower Lindsey Lake being the lowest elevation out of them all in this basin, or at least in this region. But if you were to go below the dam, there's Feely and Island and Carr Lake, so those are lower elevated lakes. But at different elevations you have lakes, and Lindsey Lake's kind of in the middle, the lower Lindsey Lake, and then you can go to the upper 3 lakes, or you can hit Culbertson, or you have the Rock Lakes. You have Upper and Lower Rock Lake. You can go up to Penner and Shotgun Lake as well. It just depends, if you're up for the challenge or not. And so there's a lot of lakes. Went to Bullpen Lake over this ridge. It's not as bad as you think. What I did is I went through the woods instead of going straight up through the brush, and I went up and over the ridge. There's a couple rocky summits. We, stood on them and then made my descent and went a different way out. The way out was easier than going in. Let's leave it at that. But great expedition. 3 days of Bigfoot evidence. 3 days of compiling research so we can build off that. That way when it's on our site, people can say, I seen tracks like that too, or here's our sighting. That's what we do. We put things on our website that way, and YouTube, that way people can contact us with their stories and cases and files too. And we can all work together and share information. So it's a good thing what we're doing here. But we're going to go fish off the dam. This is Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society with Jared. We're just doing some fishing, looking for tracks. I'm drinking some ale, totally dude thing going on right now. And there's one other thing I want you to look at. I see this at a lot of Bigfoot sites, and people will continue to argue with me. Yeah, it's a golf ball, okay? Where's the broken golf ball? There was a broken one too here. Yeah. Well, anyhow, I found a broken one as well. Based on my research, when I look for Bigfoot, I find that areas that have a lot of Bigfoot sightings, we see a lot of golf balls, and people are like, that's human. Yeah, a human may have left it at their campsite, some kids, a human, but if you leave it behind, or you live next to a golf course in the woods, there's plenty out here in northern Nevada where I'm living, you will find sometimes the golf balls in weird places, like near Bigfoot dens, caves in the rocks, areas where there's like mutilations and Bigfoot tracks. I believe that the juveniles like these little white golf balls. I do. And it may, to you it may not seem like Bigfoot, but the juveniles like balls. They like things that they can play with. And so, let's say Johnny camps across the lake, leaves a couple of his golf balls. That may be the reason why we're finding one all the way over on the other side of the lake. Somebody could have also hit it, But I mean, that's just That's my whole point. Is that that's why, based on my years of work, when you see a golf ball on the side of a mountain in the wilderness where no man's been in hundreds of years, chances are one of those juvenile Bigfoot-like creatures probably took it, found it at a campsite, took a golf course maybe in the region, and and just grabbed it, and just seen it as a toy. I could picture a primate tossing it up and down, taking a drink at the lake shore at night. Can you? Use your imagination. I mean, that's what this is truly about, is having an imaginative mind. And also we have Mr. Creepers, okay? I call him John Goodman, because he's like telling me how to fish. He's like talking to everybody in camp. He's staring at my kid. He's staring at my girlfriend. I'm out hiking. Look,
Look, it's a bat, dude.
there's a bat during the day flying around. Look.
Yeah, look, he's almost in the water.
What the hell,
He
dude?
knows where he's going.
He's...
Look, he knows where the water is.
Bats don't fly during the day, dude.
No, they don't.
Well,
That's so weird.
so we just seen a bat. I'm sorry I was interrupted, but he's watching my son. He faces the chair towards my girlfriend, and I'm gone. So when I got back to the camp, he moved his chair. It's like, yeah. And then yesterday, someone stole my fishing pole holder. It's like my poles were next to it and all, and I was out hiking all day. I come back, it's gone. It's like fucking people. Even crime happens in the wilderness. And it's just ridiculous. It's like you couldn't, even if you escaped in the wilderness, let's say you went up here during the apocalypse, 100,000 people from the city would also be camping up here, and they would bring crime, and they would steal your food, steal your, everything that you have, instead of go out, work together, and hunt and fish. So, if the apocalypse happens, you know who's coming along for the ride? My 20 guns will come along for the ride. And that way I'll put buckshot in someone's ass next time they steal from me. But anyways, we got John Goodman, or Mr. Creepers here. And watch. You ready? Guess who's watching us? Guess who's watching us? Face staring towards us and everything. It's like there's no privacy, man. This guy's been like watching us for 3 days, man. It's just like, it's like, man, I can't, at the same time I love being here, I can't wait to get out of here and get away from Frankenstein, I can't wait to get away from Andre the Giant or John Goodman. It's like that movie I just recently seen, Cloverfield Lane, or Clover Lane. Here's John Goodman. He's ready to take me to his underground bunker during the alien apocalypse. Yeah, he's just staring, man. It's like no matter where I go, but it's like I'm being watched. It's like, privacy, please. We all got to camp together, but we don't need to stare at each other all day. Go look at the birds, look at the bats flying around, right? There's bats flying around. Come on, that's more exciting than looking at me. It's a beautiful lake. I don't think you can ask for more. Nice lake hike fishing. So we're gonna go fish off the dam, but we gotta hike through the woods here to get to it. Got our backpacks, our fishing gear. Where's that peak and the lake? Is there bumblebees? Nasty bumblebees with the... You won't get it. Look, it's blocking it. Here. There's the dam. It's just kind of like curved. Right here. This is perfect. Yeah. Well, that's what I always say. If you're out at a place like this, how come you have no videos or photos showing you hiking, but yet, you know, they'll fake evidence and say, oh, I found Bigfoot, and they'll come up with some grainy cell phone footage.
Yeah, this is sleeping. Look at those bushies. Look how big that one is. Look. Holy crap. See all the fishes? They're bigger than the small ones.
I do see fish, but we need something bigger if we're going to eat them for dinner or lunch.
Down over there.
Yeah. Dude, I'm running and all of a sudden I turn around and you're running after me. Are you playing cat and mouse here? This is deep right in here.
Yeah, it is.
We should be able to get some fish, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. As good as a place as good as any.
Yeah.
Water's still shallow for a dam, huh?
Oh,
I hope that I catch a yummy catfish in the mountains. That would be nice, huh?
right.
All right, we're at Lindsey Lake Dam. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Do this.
Let's not try it. Let's not fall in, okay? Not much luck fishing on the dam. Had a few bites, but it is the middle of the day. We're gonna be trying our luck over here fishing for a couple minutes. It's where the water, let's say they have these sloughs and creeks, and where they open up the dam in certain areas, like this bridge here, it's big opening and it's a spillover, but it's dry. It's not spilling over, but the spillover. And this little bridge might be a good spot to fish too. Sure. I mean, we have some smallmouth bass that like to go along the brush here. I caught one the other day, yeah. We tried our luck. We didn't have much luck, but we tried. It's a beautiful lake. It's a privilege to have camped on it the last 3 days. Won't forget this place anytime soon. How am I going to get that? It's in the...
Oh, Dad, that is a catfish.
Okay. Grab his ass.
How am I going to grab him?
Grab the line or something. Catfish rescue, dude. I mean, he got hooked on my line and then took it through the weeds and then the line broke.
Yeah.
But we can save him if you can get him.
I got him.
Watch his barbs.
I'm trying to get in.
They're on the fins and shit.
There
But
you go. There you go, little guy.
oh, he's...
Got him.
Bring him over here. Let's see if he...
See him right here? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, well, he managed to get my line all jacked up. Lost my hook and sinker. Well, I caught 7-8 fish this weekend plus crawfish, but they were all small.
See him right there?
Whoa.
Holy shit.
Another catfish in the high Sierras.
They're tiny.
Yeah, but look, he's tangled. He'll die if we don't get this out. Look
I
how,
got this.
look, the hook, he swallowed completely the hook. Here's what we do. We need to break the plant.
First.
Ugh. Look, there's my sinker.
We need to sink him, man.
All right, here, hold this wire. Watch. Ready?
Yeah. Video taker? Give me a kiss, sugar.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's catfish. You're supposed to do that.
Right. Oh, there you go.
Now,
Save him.
watch the...
Hey, get the net.
No, look, he's going back. He can sense the water. Hold on. Ready?
Yeah. Come in. Don't want to get pinched by him. Here. Let me
Here.
see him.
Man, he's being a pain. I can't grab him. He'll be fine. He's going to have that hook forever, but he's alive and he can swim, so he'll be alright. He'll live.
Go. Go.
Just turn the net over. Like, get it and turn. There you go. So that way he can swim out.
There you go.
There we go.
He's gone. Look at him swim. He's still right there.
He's got to get his bearings. He's been stuck for a while.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Right there. Got this body? I didn't do this to you. Is he dead?
No. Lethargic. He was flopping pretty good, so he'll live. As long as he gets water.
Oh, there you go. He's swimming. Look at him.
I see him.
Got out the hook, but still, he's safe.
Gone into the deep water.
Yep. Huh.
He's alive. Nice job.
Yeah.
We saved him.
The rascal.
You're going to feed it to Rascal, the crawfish?
Rascal, come in.
If it pinches him on the nose, it won't be nice.
Come here, Rascal. Come here, buddy.
But see, he can eat them. They're not that hard of a
He's
shell.
like, hold on, man, I gotta get up. This is hard work here.
Here, Rascal. Look at him. Such a lazy bulldog.
Let's go. Let's go. You want something? Look like that. Pinch him. Pinch him.
He's not moving.
Oh, he's alive.
Is he?
Yeah.
It's just
Look at him
seafood.
moving.
Or fresh water.
Look at him moving.
I think he's smarter. He ate one earlier. He's like, I'm not eating this one. He's like, how do I bite this?
Just eat the claws. What? Come on, Rascal. Hey. That's how you eat it. Look. You need to eat it.
No, the
Alright,
first
you
one
wanna
was
try?
the first one he was good with. The
Yeah.
second one he's like, I'm not sure if I really like this.
You want to try?
It won't hurt him. I mean, it's just a crawfish, but still.
Like he's like, nah, thank you.
It's an acquired
Rascal, ready?
it's an acquired
Now watch.
taste.
Now watch this. Rascal, you ready? Catch. Oh.
It's all nasty. That's why he won't eat it. It's got dirt on it.
No, he's gonna eat it. Look, he's eating it. He's just trying to figure out how he should eat it.
He's like, nah. He's like, the one was good enough for me today.
Right.
It's an acquired taste for dogs. Some dogs like it. Cougars, some dogs like it, some dogs don't. Cougars definitely like crawfish. I'm sure.
Dad,
I'm sure they can just stand in the water and grab them and
Dad,
eat
I'm
them.
gonna make it scream. You ready?
No.
Rascal, look what I got you.
He smells it, dude. Look.
Yeah. Look at him. He's gonna so get pinched on the nose. Rascal, look.
No, it's backing up. It doesn't want to mess with him.
He's gonna get pinched on the nose. Oh, dude.
Dumb dog.
Oh, this is funny.
Look, they're like, no, it's backing up. It's not.
It's
like,
It's like, get away from me. And it's like, he's just like, whatever.
Rascal.
That's funny, dude.
Rascal, look.
It's crab right there, man. It's freshwater crab.
Oh, he's fast. Here, let me hold him down.
I had it by the back and like totally bent backwards.
Yeah.
He wants to chase stuff, but then when you bring him stuff, he doesn't. Earth lobster, folks. Earth lobster. Land lobster, that's what it is. Yeah, we got some land lobsters here. Crawling across the front lawn. It's a pretty good size, man.
Pinch it.
He's edible.
Yeah,
He's
he
edible.
You want back in the water, buddy? He's hurt. He's hurt, Joe.
Hard shell, yeah.
Okay, let me go pick you back up.
Whoa, I killed
Saving
one.
lives. taking him out of his habitat, playing with him with the bulldog, and putting him back in his habitat, saving lives. Just taking the crawfish out for a little exercise, walking the crawfish, you know. Walking the crawfish today, even though the bulldog almost ate him.
I'll let him go.
Awesome.
Yay.
Yay. You going in?
Oh, Dad, I found it.
Found what?
Yeah, I found out a rod. Someone threw it out here.
Someone threw it?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Just that big ass fish that just jumped out.
Yeah, behind him. Somebody threw my rod holder. I was talking about it in my video across how someone took it, right? I had it sitting here, went hike and come back, it's gone. And they didn't take it, they threw it.
Yeah.
What else did they do in my camp? Did they go through my shit?
Right? Watch Timmy's happy in here. Here.
Can you hit it with that?
Huh?
Can you get it with that?
I'll have to get goggles.
You're gonna have to get goggles and do a dive and rescue? A search and rescue? A dive and a rescue? Just like the daytime bat? That's because it flies during the day? I filmed the bat flying in front of us during the day. I got footage.
Keep jumping up.
That's why I'm getting my line. I gotta get my, well, I got one line. I gotta both
Like
lines.
6?
Probably.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we probably better get cooking soon. A dive and rescue for a fishing pole holder that some idiot threw in the water. That's pretty vindictive. Not vindictive, but that's, I mean, come on, dude. Why would you pick up a fishing pole holder, throw it in the ground? I'm fishing here, man. And you don't need to steal it. You just throw it in there like you're some mad, angry bully, man. Like, what's that going to solve throwing shit in the water? So that doesn't belong to you. You know, that's why humans can't be, certain humans should be banned from coming outdoors or in the wilderness. Just because, I mean, because of shit like this. You know, they come out here to cause trouble. They don't come out here to enjoy nature or respect wildlife or people or the scenery. They come out here, they get drunk, everything else. They go through people's camps and take shit. That's why I like primitive camping. But this is not, even though it's primitive, there's still a lot of people that come through here. Yeah.
This is so cold right now.
I hope you get it. Take one for the team.
You trying to lift it with your toes?
I can't. I'm not hot, can I?
Dive and rescue. In goggles, but grabbing it with his toes instead of just.
Just you jump up in front of it. Those are little fish though.
Whoa!
I use soccer bases.
I can't believe someone threw it in the water all the way out there. I mean, I stuck it in the ground, man. How? That was done on purpose.
Yeah.
That wasn't like someone took it and thought someone left it. They picked it up and they threw it out there. It may have been that kid chopping on the friggin' trees with that father who wasn't watching them, but I mean, thank you. But this, wow, I mean, there it is, man. I was talking about it earlier. There it is. Great job, man. You'll get steak tonight. No, I thought it was rusty, but it's not. So tonight, a little bit on the tip, but tonight, Jared, you're getting steak, macaroni salad, potato salad, and you're getting penny with spinach. It's going to be a very healthy choice type of meal with vegetables and healthy, maybe some Montreal or Chicago steak. Good job, man. We're starting to take down camp. You know, I will say two things about this. The PG&E that owns this camp, you know, they put hornets, they have hornets or yellow jackets here, but they have these traps at every campsite but ours. And, you know, there are at least 7 to 12 campsites. It's along the shoreline, and then it gets primitive, and you take the trail and you can go up into the Grouse Lakes Basin just about anywhere to see any lakes or any lakes, creeks, or various peaks if you want to jet off to them like I did today. I climbed a peak behind our camping area. But we're taking down camp. And I will say that even though I didn't get stung or anything, I mean, when you see hundreds of yellow jackets, hundreds of them in the trees and on, you know what I mean, you take your bait out, right away there's 50 of them hovering over. But there was over 100 around this rock about 10 minutes ago. And so that's, I mean, they should put more of those up in case someone's allergic, but that's just my opinion. I mean, if you're going to pay $15 a day, they should provide that for you. The other thing is, it's kind of, some campsites need to be spread out. It's too close together. I mean, there was like, right here, we had a guy in his cot like 15 feet away. So I generally don't camp that close to anyone. I usually go primitive. And when this place isn't packed, there may only be 1 or 2 people or nobody up here, especially closer to fall. But right now, you know, 20 people last night came down the road, and some people just took a spot and didn't even pitch a tent, like last night, just to take a spot, you know. So we're going to be leaving. It's still pretty. I mean, I did a lot of fishing. I caught some fish. We had caught crawfish and cooked those. Seen 8 lakes. It's a decent place. I mean, there's some decent hiking, rock climbing. We were doing rafting, played games. Been having some good eats. We're having steak in a little bit. So I mean, it was definitely well worth coming here. It's very beautiful. A lot of Bigfoot evidence. And I'm going to get cooking, and I'll be back with probably my final goodbye video as we break down our campsite and get ready to head out of the Grouse Lakes Basin. We're at Lindsey Lake at sunset. Okay, we're about to leave our campsite, but I wanted to finish off the day at sunset here, cooking some steaks. They're just chuck steaks. We're going to throw them on the grill. This is charcoal. Okay, like this. And I just wanted to say, I mean, I really like this place. I've seen 8 lakes, rafting, fishing, swimming, hiking, rock climbing, Bigfoot chasing. And we had 5 types of phenomena. Vocalizations, such as sound like they were talking or whistling to each other. I've had objects thrown at me here, like stones and twigs. I've also found tracks at 3 different areas in remote areas surrounding the Lindsey Lakes region. And then I found a mutilation. Well, Jared, my dog, found a deer leg, and it had there was nothing. It was strange. There's no teeth marks or anything. It was ripped out of the socket and the marrow sucked out. So something common in Bigfoot research. But we had a lot of different phenomena happen. 4 or 5 different, like I say, types of, or a collaboration of evidence that's overwhelming each day when you start finding tracks. This is onion powder. Just douse it. You do it for both sides. You flip them after 5 minutes. It's very hot. Garlic powder. We want to make them tasty. Create our own rub, and I'll be quick about this. Onion powder. All the powders, you know, garlic, onion. You can do garlic salt if you want, not too much. This is just black pepper, not too much unless you want them spicy. Italian seasonings, basil, oregano, Jesus. Just give it that Italian type of taste. You can take some onions for flavoring. I like to do it near the end when I flip them. That way, they don't fall off the steak, and you can serve them that way. This here is smoky Montreal steak. I've never seen this before, so I decided to give it a try, but it makes your meat taste smoked. Okay. And we'll do both sides. I'll flip them, and then a little bit of salt and a little vegetable oil it helps also flavor it and retain the seasonings that are in it. We're going to close this, and I'm going to flip it after about 5 to 7 minutes. It's extremely hot because I doused it in a lot of fluid because I'm in a hurry to kind of pack up my tent, get going before it gets dark. So we got the steaks cooking, about 7 minutes on each side, and then we have, this is spinach and penny with a fettuccine. It's a fettuccine type, a Parmesan type of sauce, nice cheese sauce. Okay, And then what we're going to do is we're going to have some potato salad and macaroni salad. You can have the pick of the two. We'll throw it on a plate. We'll eat a nice meal before we have to off-road out of this place before dark and get the rest of our stuff packed up. But I just want to say, I mean, I want to thank everyone for watching our videos. I put a 3-hour, 4-hour movie here together all weekend. I did find tracks on the peak, 3 days of evidence, 3 days of strangeness. And the fifth phenomena, because I didn't say it, is I had some limbs break, like up in the trees, just snap. It wasn't even windy. And when I was up in the mountains with Rocky, a branch had snapped, and there's no way a small bird could have did that. It was an animal, at least maybe a bear, maybe a deer, but it was something big. But the strange thing is, I didn't hear anything run from the branch snapping on 3 different incidents this weekend. It's like it stopped, like, uh-oh, I stepped on a branch. And it could be standing there 20 feet away watching us from the brush, and we don't even know it. That's how elusive these are. But fresh tracks, we just missed it like a 12-foot monster our first day here. It was a fresh track up into these mountains here. It was a fresh track. Whatever made it, something's making the tracks. And whatever made it is still out there here at the Lindsey Lake area. That's what they should look like after 7 minutes. Nice reddish brown, not more brown because I'm searing them, but you get a nice brown. You can see. That's how you know one side's done. And then we'll do the other side and they'll be ready to pull off. I always cook my meat thoroughly. I don't want to get sick outdoors. That's just me. Dinner is coming soon. We're trying to get a catfish off the line. Looks like the same one we caught earlier. They got a hook caught in its mouth. I guess it didn't learn its lesson. But we're almost ready to eat. Grab some grub and pack out of here and take the long road out. I can't wait. I'm starving. I'm starving. Steaks are seasoned. Got onions on top. Looks good. You could bring this home and eat it like jerky on the drive home if we don't eat them all. But I put onions to finalize them, and it's cooking nice. Probably about 2 minutes, folks. Be ready to serve. Dinner will be ready. These videos are important, kind of show how we bond and what we do when we're on an expedition, because it's not all about chasing Bigfoot. There is also, we play games, we fish, we hike, we camp, we meteor watch, we cook, there's chase nature, chase butterflies. There's a lot of elements to what we do here. It's not just one. It's not just pulling up on the road, hey, there's tracks, we found Bigfoot. No, you got to be a part of the scene, the Bigfoot scene. You know what I mean? Eat some meat outdoors, sit under the stars, know what it's like to be the beast. And the truth is, to find the beast, you got to become the beast. Bigfoot's a beast. Whatever made those tracks, like I said, could be 12 feet tall. 12 feet. Would you want to come across that? I probably would, being the scientist and all, but I wouldn't live to probably tell anybody about that. Okay, bon appetit. It's almost time to eat. This is the final results, everyone. We got a nice macaroni salad with some penny pasta and spinach and a cheese sauce and a couple of smoky Montreal steaks. We're sitting on the lake, sun setting. It's a little warm, but we got a nice view of the lake here, the peak between the trees, and then this lovely meal. This is the last supper here at Lindsey Lakes. We probably won't be coming back to this area. We've wrapped it up. It's obviously, when I put it on the site about Bigfoot, other people come forward, as they always have, with our reports and evidence, and we'll be able to collaborate some other stories and stuff to go with yours. But I found something strange going on here, and I saw, and I found. So we'll finish this with a lovely meal, mates. Just want to say cheers. This is Lord Rick. He's like stunned, like, steak? Alright, man, I'm gonna eat before the bees eat my food. It's a great meal. Finish a great hike and some really great Bigfoot research this weekend. Peace out, folks. Well, the sun is setting. It's getting dark. Moon's coming out. Beautiful reflection off the lake. It's Sunday, day 3 of the expedition at Lindsey Lake. In closing, I'd like to say it was a good Bigfoot expedition. We've seen a lot. We visited a lot of locations. We had a lot of fun. I mean, we ate healthy tonight, as you can see. Our last supper here was gorgeous. Nice steak. Like I said, it was just an all-around meal, macaroni salad with penny and spinach. And so we're going to get out of here before nightfall. And I want to thank everybody for watching our videos. Check out our website so you can see all the hard work from these expeditions. Videos, yeah, videos show a lot, but they don't show everything. We get a lot of pictures and sometimes recordings and things like that, and we put the history together. It really looks good on our site. Old school, we're an old school group, and it's all blood, sweat, and tears, based on the hard work we do. But I'm leaving behind this majestic peak with the reflection on the water, having more questions than I do answers. And like I said, we had about 5 Bigfoot there was about 5 pieces of evidence that make me question whether Bigfoot exists here or not. The final answer to that question would be, in my opinion, I do think that this creature is prevalent here. And I do think he exists, and he wanders these ridges right above Lindsey Lake that you see. So we're out of here. I want to say good night. Leaving the Grouse Lakes Basin has really taught me a lot. Staying here and just braving it. And I really look forward to coming back here and working with Island Lake, Penner Lake, Carr Lake, Feely Lake. You get the idea. There's still a lot more lakes to see, a lot more shorelines to explore for tracks, and surely a lot of mountains to climb. So it was a huge success. I want to thank everyone for watching. Bless you guys. We'll be back again with another trip in 2 weeks. We can only speculate, but in the years of doing this, I can tell you that something's making the tracks, something strange is going on. In all my years of Bigfoot investigating, I'd say that if there was going to be a Sasquatch tribe or group of creatures here, or a primate-like creature, this area could sustain one. And I'd say, 10 out of 10, I'd say they are probably up here. I am almost sure. And other areas, not so much. But this area, without a doubt, I do not doubt that these creatures are here. And so it's been an amazing, adventurous expedition. We worked hard climbing up on these ridges and everything else looking for tracks. We worked hard. We came, we saw, we found. And this is Lord Rick of the Paranormal Ghost Society, also known as AngelOfThyNight. And nightfall setting in. So we're going to be leaving this Bigfoot-ridden area. Leaving it to its lore, its history, and letting these creatures live. And letting these creatures continue to live on, and just admiring the fact that they exist. And that they are the kings of the Tahoe National Forest where we're at. And with that in mind, that deserves a toke. So I want to say cheers. Cheers and peace and goodwill to all those who dare to brave this vast wilderness. And with the hard work we've done, we hope we can collaborate other people's stories and reach Bigfoot research groups. And we can really pinpoint what's going on here in this majestic lake basin. Alright folks, have a good night. We'll be back in the High Sierras in 2 weeks on the search for Bigfoot. This is your founder from the Paranormal Ghost Society, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. Peace out. When I back up, we need to look. It's nice things roll under the damn Jeep. No. How pretty. Beautiful place, minus the bees. Some of the strange people around here, right? Miss this place. It's beautiful. If I had it to myself, I wouldn't tell anybody. It's beautiful. It's also good to leave John Goodman from Cloverfield Lane. That guy just made me so uncomfortable. Just all he's been doing is staring all day.
Well, maybe he's thinking we'll talk to him. Maybe he's just lonely. But
yeah, but
I remember, and the only reason I got pity for him is because I remember when my dad used to come in and eat when I was in high school. He'd come in from the restaurant I worked in. A couple times I had people say to me, guy over there's creeping me out. He keeps staring at us.
Oh, because he's just, yeah, because they want to keep talking and make friends, but I don't always camp to make friends.
He wasn't staring at him.
Well.
People watching. And I used to have to go over there and say, Dad, stop staring at these people.
Well, see,
know?
the thing is I camp to get away from people, not to have a social call. And that guy's camping to talk to everyone, hang out with everyone, tell everyone how to fish, because he's an expert, because he's fished here one other time. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've caught like 8, 9, 10 fish here. They're all small. It doesn't matter how you do it.
Oh.
That was the weirdest thing. Look at all these little roads, man. You could primitive camp back here, down some of these little roads, and just pitch a tent, but well, I love this place. Like I said, there was a lot of Bigfoot strangeness to it. I will come back. We're gonna hike up to Shotgun and Penner Lake eventually. May even camp at Car Lake, but it'd have to be done like fall when there's not many people up here. Just a lot of people acting like jackasses. Someone throwing my fishing holder in the goddamn fucking lake. I mean, come on.
I still don't know what happened to my hat. It disappeared.
I'm thinking someone stole your hat, and I
Think
just...
they threw that in the lake, too?
It could have floated all the way to the other end. God knows my bobber this morning was all the way over in the grass, but there was a fish on it. That's, you know what I mean? Every time I left it at night, I got a fish. Yeah, I've seen people take cars on this. It's like, I hope you're fully insured, and I hope you don't mind replacing your struts and suspension. Because on a car, this is... I've taken cars in places like this,
There's more damage
but...
that can be done to a car than struts
Yeah.
and suspension.
Oh, I know.
You knock your wheel pan off.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
A hole in your gas tank.
Yeah, I think like it's good to have a Jeep anyways, or a truck made for, like when I get my Yukon or my Denali, it'll have even more room and more power, and I'll be able to, you know, really camp nicely. But these people bringing cars, man, I mean, you know, some of them don't even have a damn tent. I mean, they're just like, here I am in my car. They're in the wilderness with hardly nothing, and that's not me. I like having good food, firewood, first aid stuff, raft, you know, fishing poles. I like to bring it all because I like to utilize everything outdoors. So we're gonna go here instead of this road. This is the road we took. Yeah, we'll take Bowman. When we get up to Bowman, make a left, and it'll take us right out. Whoa, what was that just crossed the road? Thing was booking. Yeah, we could take this to Bowman, and Bowman out to the I-80, the highway, or the expressway.
See the goddamn road.
Yeah, I could hit a Bigfoot and piss it off, and then what? Could just like lift the whole vehicle. So our next camping trip, everybody, will be at the end of September, early October. Those trips always reward me with good Bigfoot evidence, because in October they start to migrate to lower elevations, looking for food, hunting, gathering, and so in the fall it's real pretty. The colors sometimes nice and gold. The trees look gold in the Sierras, sometimes red, and it's also a good time of year to squatch, because less people camp. You might camp somewhere and never see a human being, like when we went to Burnside Lake that one time, or last year when we camped at Meadow Lake. There was really nobody out there, man. But it was also October 1st, and people are scared of these snowstorms that hit in October, and then you can get stuck up there and fucking die. So you have to kind of keep an eye on shit, and even the weather, because there are snowstorms in October, and it's been proven people have gone back camping and weren't able to get out, and basically froze. Here's Bowman Lake Road. We took this 2 weeks ago. If you go to your right, you can go to Bowman Lake in the ghost town of Graniteville. Or if you go to your left, you can go to Interstate 80, which takes you to Reno. Or you can veer off and truck you to Lake Tahoe. So this is it, folks. We're basically out of here. We want to thank you for watching our videos, all the support, and I hope you guys will get involved more with our projects, and maybe even your own families. You can take your own families out now that you know a little bit about this area, where to go, where to hike, what to do. Jesus, man, the road splits, but this is probably it. Or look, it just meets back up and then it goes that way. These are old logging roads, by the way. They made these, they were doing logging here for the mines of like, yeah, they were doing this for Sierra City and Sierraville and Graniteville, Washington, all these little boom towns. They started logging, making these roads so that they could travel via wagon to all these little ghost towns. At the same time, you can see they're logging because look how much the trees are coming back, but these are only first and second generation trees. And so that's where all these roads originally came from, is all the logging. Whoa, did you see that tree? Look at that. Holy fuck. Isn't that crazy? Well, I don't need second drive. So we're leaving the Tahoe National Forest. Does this look like Bowman to you?
Oh, there's something ahead. There's
Well, Bowman Lake is kind of rocky. What the hell? That's kind of creepy.
I don't ever remember coming across that. It looks like this road dead ends here.
Is that an empty house?
I think we should have went the other way.
Holy shit. I gotta get a picture. You guys don't need to get out.
No, we just need to fight the animals.
What I'm gonna do is turn around and go veer the other way. The road's better. Old fucking homestead, dude. Shh. Like I said, there is history of mining and logging here. So we're gonna turn around. I've seen this on a website before. I didn't know where it was. I knew it was near Bowman Lake, but this little turnoff revealed an old homestead. This could be from the logging operation. They had a logging operation, and then of course mining not too far from Bowman Lake. That could have been in miners, you know what I mean, the foreman's house for the mine, or it could have been the foreman for the lumber companies up here who made these logging roads in the 1800s, because you had Bowman Lake and many mines. Okay folks, I'm heading out. Just wanted to show you something really cool in the woods. We're going to turn around so we don't get too lost. Sun's going down. Pretty cool. Nice little find. There is a few old mining camps and ghost towns around here. Not much remains, but I know there is some remnants of the mining camps and lumber camps. No trespassing.
No.
Oh.
Painted on the tree.
Where? To the right? The orange thing?
What is painted on that tree right there?
Looks like tits. No.
No, it's pointing.
Oh.
FWQ or something? Huh. I don't know. Oh, this is the Tahoe National Forest. Not only has some historic gems, but it has some.
They don't want you in those woods over there, man.
Why? What's in those woods?
I don't know.
All
but
the
there's
signs?
There's like a no trespassing sign every 10 feet.
Why would you put that many no trespassing signs? I mean, they're everywhere, man. Who cares? This is a Tahoe National Forest. Who cares if you're back here? It's meant to off-road and hike. You know what I'm saying? We'll go back this way. We're got to get on Bowman Lake, and we can head on out to the interstate. It's like It's like a wrong turn movie. Got to get out of the creepy area.
Knock it off. Because I hit it with my elbow 10 times a minute, man.
Nice little homestead not too far from Lindsey Lakes. But I'm thinking, man,
Campgrounds.
yeah, I've also heard that they don't, sometimes the forestry will put up no trespassing because of Bigfoot. There's certain parts of the forest that are real Bigfoot.
That's
a lot
a
of,
campground right there.
well, that is, but I'm saying that like back east in Pennsylvania, they were aware of the rangers of Bigfoot in this one area, so they just closed it off. Because I guess a certain time of year they mate, or they're kind of like animals, but they're intelligent, a little more intelligent. They're high, you know what I mean? So they breed, they probably, yeah, they intermingle with each other, and sometimes people try to hunt them or kill them. This is the road, probably to the right. Because we turned on Bowman Lake Road, and then we turned to the right instead of staying straight, probably. It better be, but this looks like it's a kind of a woodsy rock, little bit of a rugged road, you know?
This goes back to the...
When you're photographing nature, patience is a virtue. I had to wait for him to come back out because he kind of got scared of the truck. This is not it either, is it? I don't remember this shit. Did a bunch of fucking dead ends. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to take 17 or we're never gonna get out of here. I don't have time to... It's gonna get dark. I don't care if it gets dark, but still. It's like a maze back here, so. You got the creepy homestead, the deer. I got a couple photographs of deer finally. I've been trying to photograph deer all weekend and they just run. But the doe, she was kind of calm and walked back out and let me photograph her real quick. And I got some quick video just to kind of show everyone that there is wildlife here, which can support or sustain a Bigfoot. A deer. Deer are a wonderful source of protein for a creature that size. For cougars too. And black bear. This is probably it to the right. Because that's the main road, right? Southeast, yeah. We gotta go southeast. Alright folks, taking the road less traveled. This is Lord Rick. I'm gonna try to focus on getting out of here. Always an adventure with me, that's for sure. But I think this is Bowman Lake Road. Pretty sure it is. It's kind of a rugged, rocky road, but it twists and turns because it follows this valley. If you don't hear from me, folks, you know, it's like the movie Wrong Turn or House of a Thousand Corpses. They got me. Otherwise, if I get out of here, you'll see this place on our website, Lindsey Lakes at the Grouse Lake base of the Tallwood Asheville Forest. I'm going to keep headed southeast and hope for the best. Let's hope it don't dead end at a cliff or a bunch of Sasquatch having a meal. It's 8 p.m. That's okay. Have to go back down Route 17.
I got a lot of shit.
Don't we all? The only thing I need to bring in tonight is the food. I'll stop and get coffee. The only thing I need to do is make sure the cooler and the food's in and save so it don't go bad. We still have a lot of meats and stuff. Look at this big ass rock in the middle of the road. And watch how narrow this road gets up here. Remember? The brush like comes in the windows and shit. We should have went out on Bowman Lake, but I can't find it right now and my GPS is... I don't know where the hell my GPS went.
It said that was Bowman Lake that we were on, but it didn't.
Yeah. Well, I got confused. There was multiple roads. And my damn GPS, I don't know where the hell I put that thing. It might still be in my backpack, so I'm just like, This is crazy. We're up on cliffs right now and everything. It's like the escape, you know, you just feel relieved. You're like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta make it the whole way out to civilization, you know? You're friggin' bouncing around, off-roading with a friggin' ton of weight. 2 dogs, your family, a car carrier on cliffs. And for that matter, an overgrown road. Gotta love Jeep, right? But yeah, if I get a big vehicle, for sure I'll be rubbing the sides on a road like this. Shit. I'm on the edge on both sides.
You brought the cliff on your side, because you were really on the edge.
Yeah, we are always on the edge. Living life is on the edge. You'll live. You'll live. Just get us past this spot and it gets better.
Your side didn't scrape one time. You did that on the way in, too.
No, I
Yeah,
hit a
you
branch,
did.
almost touched my arm. It was like, I think, a hair, like maybe a half inch.
Wait till you get up somewhere where you can actually see it.
Wonder if it's worth a pick. It is. Oh, wow. That's beautiful. That's why I come out here, just for that alone. See, it gets better. So we're leaving this place with the sun setting behind the mountains and an overgrown, rugged road. Well, if I see Bigfoot cross the road, I'll be filming. Otherwise, I'm out of here. About 2 more miles, we'll be off 17 and back on, it's a dirt road, but a much better one than this. Look at this, man. It's a fucking tunnel of fucking brush. This was the worst part of it, I think. This narrow part and the part back there.
Flying up and then right back down.
What do you mean, a bird?
I don't know. It just went straight up and then came straight back down. It was almost like somebody threw it up and then...
Threw what up?
I don't know what it was. It just went up and went back down. Must have been a bird. See?
Oh, what the hell?
What the fuck was that?
Hold on. I'm gonna get this on film. Did you hear that? Come on. Now it's not gonna do it because I got the camera running. Looked like something throwing a ball up and down. Maybe a juvenile Bigfoot. Come on. Here it is.
That was a bird.
Oh, was it the same one?
It came out of that tree.
That wasn't it. It was behind me.
I'm sorry.
I can see him. I
don't see anything now.
Just like went up and went down, went up, went down. I seen it too. There, I just seen.
I seen it too, but it didn't go over the bushes.
I think that was a bird. I got it on camera. I'll watch it.
That's weird. Maybe that's how it hunts for its insects.
Maybe it's some kind of new bird species. I've never seen a bird do bark like that. There's that rabbit just took off. That's a rabbit. I got a picture of it.
Huge.
It was a big hare. This area is creepy. Anything could be 3 feet from the road. You wouldn't see it like grinning at you. You have like a 12-foot Sasquatch just parting the bushes, just looking. You won't want to be stuck on this road. This road has creepy written all over it. Like I said, this is a strange place. I've seen a lot of strange shit. I mean, I experienced a lot of strange things up here. Something's making the tracks. I don't care what anybody says. There's no viable explanation for what I found hiking in Primitive. I mean, some 18-inch tracks deep like that on the side of a mountain, and then they just disappear. Just things just don't add up out here, man. Came to a hidden meadow. There's 2 creatures. Sound like 2 creatures like whispering or talking and whistling. It was weird. There's just a lot of weird shit up here. Then the deer bones. I mean, the way they were, the way the leg was, like, man, no. I know. I mean, it's just, there's just a lot of weird shit up here. But it's a pretty area. But I would just recommend being on the alert. If you have small children or small dogs, don't let them wander here. Because this place is weird. See, the road gets better, so we're almost off of 17 onto the main road. And that goes out near Spalding Lake, and it splits right here where Carr Lake is. That's what that lady said. I go to Carr Lake. But the further you descend to these lakes, closer to the highway, the more people you deal with. Unless it's in the cooler months, like October or maybe end of September. Alright folks, road's getting good. We're safe, we're well. Have a good night. I tried to keep it filming because when Tammy's seen that going, I thought it was like the juvenile Bigfoot will throw sometimes something in the air and catch it. They're primates, so when you see stuff like that, you just gotta be patient and just wait, and that's what I did. And I seen what looked like some kind of bird I've never seen before in my life. So interesting stuff. Cryptozoology is not just about Bigfoot, it's about any unknown species of wildlife waiting to be discovered. And every day, thousands of new animals. Every year, I should say, thousands of new animals, whether it's mammals, insects, bird life, ocean life, is discovered. So why not Bigfoot? Alright, we're almost out of here. Right.
So I guess what I'm saying is the carrier is the least of my worries.
Yeah, it's like we can lose the carrier and let Bigfoot, like, harvest everything. As long as he doesn't eat you, right?
As long as you can't even open it. Let's say we punch it.
See, the thing is, like I said, you can't go fast on this road. So if that creature chases you, you hit a pothole, dude, you'll break an axle, man, if you hit it too hard, or you lose all your shit off the top, or, you know what I mean, or, you know, you break an axle and stuff like that. It's like, oh, here comes the family of Bigfoot. They'll be all surrounding you, deciding which one of us looks good enough to eat or carry off.
Let's just throw Rocky on the
Throw Rocky and just try to drive on, you know, one axle.
Right.
Who cares if the other one's broke? We'll just drag through the woods, sparking. This is rugged. It's hard to believe we were this far back in the wilderness, and yet we still ran into people with cars, man. And that guy, man, it just gets me. Look, there's a rabbit. Big ass rabbit. Big ass rabbit in the road. Look at him, he's zipping around.
He's like, doesn't know where to go. He's like, oh,
I'm not,
fuck.
look,
Oh,
look.
fuck. Oh, fuck. Doesn't even know where to go.
He was zipping around all over. I stopped and filmed him. He looked right at me while I was filming him. I didn't make any noise. I don't want to startle him. I've seen a lot of wildlife today. In the last final day, deer, rabbits, some pretty cool birds. Yeah. It's the snake. Me and Jared found a big ass snake.
Oh, yeah.
Swimming. It was biggest one so far in that area, that type of species. So that was kind of cool. No.
It was just like, it looked like
Just-
a rattlesnake, kind of, but without the rattle.
It had like the diamond patterns, but it was much longer and bigger. It had black on it. Like black and like a bumblebee color. Like maybe a whitish and a black, but not fully white. Maybe a creamy white with black. I got a picture of it. Maybe it was brownish in that color, but maybe. But there was one that was dark in that color too. So there are some snakes. This basin seems to have a ton of snakes, as opposed to other lakes in the Sierras have no snakes at all. But some of these lakes are abundant with certain types of snakes. So here I am talking about snakes while off-roading.
Gotta be getting close to the.
Now you know why I bring so much supplies. We're in the middle of nowhere. At least if the world ended, we'd say, hey, we got some stuff. We have a comfortable tent and chairs and sleeping bags. Until winter comes and you fucking freeze your ass off. Better be building that homestead real fast. It's kind of sandy here. You notice that? But I'm going south, and south is where you want to go if you want to get out to the highway. It's just a very long, rugged dirt road. 10 miles, I think, altogether. 12 miles, maybe. But still, to people back east, 1 mile's a long dirt road, you know?
You've only went 6 miles.
I know. Seems like forever and a day. These woods are so thick, anything could be up here living.
It's kind of creepy.
Yes, standing there friggin' 12 feet tall, grinning at you. Being like, they got a little dog that might run out here and get... They're still got to respect them. They're still wild creatures. We don't know a lot about them, so we have to show respect for them, too. What the fuck? That road's pretty... That road goes into a meadow. It goes like up and down. It's really offbeat back here. Northwest. Oh, and then it goes south again. Wow. If I would have found Bowman Lake Road, we'd have been out of here already, but all them wrong turns, man, dead ends. Found the creepy-ass homestead. Mining and lumber camps used to be prevalent in ranching in this area, so you will find shit like that. Yeah, it's creepy in those woods. Dark. It's like, man, if you're by yourself, you'd really up your chances of becoming missing. Think I was climbing mountains today by myself with a tiny little dog. We're not much of a match for a big-ass 600-pound bear, that's for sure, on the side of a mountain. In the middle of nowhere, that's where you're going to find that type of shit lumbering around. Northwest. Let's see if we're in the Subaru had GPS.
Well, there's only been one road. It's not like we're getting off of it.
I see so many little side roads, but this is the main road. It's big enough for 2 vehicles now. A main road somewhere. Hopefully not to the semi-ghost town of Graniteville. That place is a little creepy too. Now we're going west. That's right, because you got to go southwest. It meets with the main road, and then you go out to the highway. That's good to see. It's getting dark. Ooh, there's a reflector. No Bigfoot crossing the road. I always film in hopes that I will get something like that, so we can study the muscle movement and the footage.
I remember that rock coming in.
Yeah, nobody moves it. Nobody gets out and moves it.
Someone just ran across the road, something big.
What was it?
It was an angel.
I was
On
filming.
4 legs.
What?
You didn't see it?
No, man.
Ran across the road.
How close? Would my camera get it?
See this big tree right here
Yeah.
to the right? It was right there.
Is it in the woods here? Up the path, maybe?
It was like a dog or a coyote or a deer.
Maybe a coyote or something. I was filming. I'll have to study it. The animals are coming out like crazy, aren't they?
It didn't run like a deer. It ran like a dog.
Cougar. Oh, looky. We're actually back to one of the main roads. Bowman Lake, Highway 20, 8 miles. Alrighty. We're really out of here now. This is paved. Woo! Hallelujah, baby. Hallelujah. This whole area is creepy. I've heard some creepy stories back here. There's one person that's seen Bigfoot back here. It's like, I'm never going back here again. We're literally scared. Personally, myself, I love this type of thing, but if you were to go up in these woods, you could easily disappear. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's purposely or accidentally or related to something like a cougar or a Bigfoot or foul play. I mean, it's just, it's spooky. If it looks spooky, it probably is spooky, you know what I mean? And woods are so dense. The Tahoe National Forest is a fucking jungle. Still waiting to unravel its secrets. I think this is the main road up here. Whoa. And the creepiness is over. I sense the highway coming. There's a house. Yep, I sense the highway. Maybe not. Not a road you want to get stuck on at night and have to walk looking for help. You can't even get it. You can't even get a signal out here. Well, that was a good camping trip. I had enough adventure to last me a couple weeks until I do it all over again. This time I think I'm out of here for good. Driving up on cliffs, and now I'm driving through creepy woods. All kinds of adventure back here. If you don't like to drive on cliffs, don't go up to Bowman or Lindsey Lakes. Fall down and roll down one of them cliffs or fall off. That's it, it's over.